Welcome back to Being Watched. Our episode this week is fine. It's one of the more boring ones. My notes are barely half a page. Our number is somehow, for reasons, a former Stasi agent who was encamped in the US until 1987 when the death of his wife led to his sudden retirement. Now he's back, old as shit, and on the warpath for revenge, killing his former teammates for the crime of allowing his wife to die.
It can't be you.
He is a very flat, very measured character, just very effectively murdering these guys. No real nuance to this until the end, not very interesting, just a real stalwart German man. The machine informs on him pretty quickly because it's super weird for a man to suddenly appear on a quest for vengeance, but because he's been out of the country for 25 years, there isn't exactly a digital footprint to follow here. All they know for sure is he bought a cemetery plot before he disappeared. So Finch goes to a guy he knows, an information broker who just happens to know all about the secret Stasi spies that operated in New York in the 80s, and Finch has enough blackmail to get that info out of him.
And I'll be needing something more precise than books.
I'm not sure what you mean.
How about the Soviet submarine schematics that you sold back to Russian intelligence last year? You registered that income with IRS, FBI? Be hard to run this store from prison, don't you think?
We learn this man is Ulrich Kohl, and he's definitely here. His gravestone was a weapon cache that he dug up, and Kohl is already shooting elderly men. John Reese keeps trying to catch up to Ulrich, who is just plowing through these old guys. He gets in 3 murders before end of day. Well, only 2. He poisoned the second guy and he got first aid in time, even though John jeopardized his recovery by stealing his ambulance so he could have a little convo with the old German man. He confirms that all these people were on a team, and things went so bad for reasons that are entirely Ulrich's fault. So Ulrich was absolutely out of control, killing American informants, terrifying his wife, that all the other members of his team defected to the US, including his wife, who, as part of the defection, faked a fatal car accident so that her and her daughter could have a new life away from this terrifying murder monster. As we will find out, they had reasons to be afraid. Now he's back to kill them all. Why the machine handed only his number and not the 3 numbers that were in danger only speaks to the fallibility of our nearly magical, don't even think about it plot device that hands out cyber thriller TV episodes. Ulrich's day of vengeance was anticipated by someone else though, the German government, who dispatch a couple of guys to stay on top of this, but only in a way that's extremely unhelpful to our team. While John is poking around the apartment of our first victim, a German intelligence agent gets the drop on him to ominously monologue about how dangerous Ulrich Kohl is, and John just immediately knocks this guy out. He doesn't even have to try. If this was a Powered by the Apocalypse game, one of his skills would be knockout. Roll cool to immediately knock out one guy in the room. On a 10 plus you do. On a 7 to 9, it either is immediately discovered, or, as in this case, it's inconvenient, because this guy clearly knew what was going on, but John can't ask him because he's unconscious. John calls Fusco up to do a favor for him to come pick up this guy for him. He has a Punisher to stop. There's a body here, so you want to hear about this, actually. Shots fired, get down here.
Yeah, well, I can't do anything until someone calls in a crime.
You'll get a call. Shots fired.
Were there shots fired?
Carter and Fusco interview him, asking him what's going on, and it's more ominous foreshadowing.
He is smart and lethal, and he killed Germans for years. There is nothing more important than putting him back where he belongs.
Not gonna lie, feels like they talk this guy up a lot. Like, he hasn't killed anyone before today in 25 years. The German government thought he was old and feeble. But I guess this guy was just pretending to be just a little guy while secretly staying in shape, fueled entirely by hate. Our German agent guy gets shut up and extradited before he can do anything interesting. But with Ulrich having gotten to the 3rd guy already halfway through the episode, what more can happen? Oh, he finds out about his wife still being alive and decides he needs to kill her too? Why sure, that makes sense. That's fair. They need to find his wife before Ulrich does, and the German intel agent is on his way out of town already. Well, that's a problem that can only be solved with a sniper rifle, and luckily we have expert marksman John Reese, who can shoot at a tire from 500 yards away.
What if you miss?
I wouldn't know. Never have.
Surely there are more conventional ways to stop this car, but I guess that wouldn't have been as cool. So they get to the wife in time, and John is there to meet him, telling him it's over. Unfortunately, he didn't expect the Stasi neck pinch, and John has been captured. He gets tortured and interrogated for a bit, which Reese is trained to ignore. It's all very macho, very scary, but eventually gets broken up when Ulrich pokes around to discover that he has a daughter in college. Oh my god, so many twists and turns. Now that he has another person to hold hostage, he doesn't need John anymore, but thankfully Fusco shows up even though he really didn't want to. You'd think that now Fusco has saved his life once, John would be nicer to him, but Fusco is kind of just on board now. I think Fusco just likes helping them. He's having fun. Ulbrich kidnaps his daughter and demands a meet in the park, which Fusco and Carter have also heard about somehow. And I really don't have a sense of how big Central Park is, but they make it seem positively gigantic. The police are actively looking for a hostage exchange, and our team is able to converge on one location, talk for a long time, get into a standoff, have John shoot this guy, a tearful goodbye, and then John sits and chats with him for like a minute before the cops finally discover his corpse. Body count 3 for John. He finally realizes the error of his ways, by the way.
You were right to fear me. You were right.
Whatever, he was already dying. He wasn't playing to survive the day anyway. I really don't care for this guy. He just seems like a real asshole, you know? Oh god damn it, I forgot about the B-plot again. It's a flashback to when John first joined the extremely secret forces and met his partner slash handler slash dom, Stanton, who acts like she's really cool. They kill a couple of guys and then she tells him that he needs to forget about his ex-girlfriend. He's in for life now. I really didn't expect that airport conversation to be referenced again. And then she tells him how his murder work is super important, the threat is real, and so forth. Stanton will become important later. John and Finch stand over the man's grave and talk about how nobody is going to care when they die either, because they're technically already dead. You guys will get over this modeling stuff soon, I hope. Next episode is about Carter. She's in trouble. But from who? We'll figure it out. You are being watched.
You are being watched.